Yeah, let's start today's class. So, from today, the topics that we are going to discuss are the very sensitive topics. Means they are the quite important to every person. Means it's might be quite confusing, might be easily understandable, but it's up to you. But it's still just be focusable on the topics that we are going to discuss from today from today to 2 or 3 days, up to 2 or 3 days. So because they are related to the data security, so that's why data security and visibility of a records and objects, means everything that are related to a security, we are discussing about that. So it's a so that's why it's important, because whenever we have a any requirement or anything that an admin has to do a proof of concept, or do solve the business logic, anything that whenever admin have to do, he has to think about that data security. So that's why you have to just be attentive and focusable on what we have discussed on that. Just whenever you have a question, just ask at that time. We will solve it, or just try to put some questions. Okay, let's begin with the data security. I'm going to share my screen. Hope you guys see my screen. Today we discuss about the data security, then we have a level of security, then we discuss about the profiles. After that, we will discuss about the user management, and thereafter the page layout assignments.
Excuse me, Mr. Suraj. There is a noise coming, like something like this, and it's really bothering, kind of.
Might be there some echo from your side, so just check your earphone.
Because I am in a silent
Right
mode.
now, it's okay. I mean, but sometimes when you're talking, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
then
you know,
Let me reconnect my headset. Might be.
maybe your microphone, or I don't know. Yeah,
I think now it's good, or still
yeah,
good.
this is.
Okay. So let's open the.
Still,
Still.
I think right now, a little better than the first time. Yeah, it's right now okay. There's no noise. Thank you, Mr. Raj.
Okay. Okay, so in the Salesforce, we have two types of things. The mainly we have two types of things. First, we have an objects, and second we have records. That the whole Salesforce is dependent on. We have an objects and records. That's the only two things on which the Salesforce is working. Mainly, these are the two things on which the Salesforce is working. That first is an object, second is the record. So the security is also is revolving around only these two objects, only these two things. Means that he is means security is totally revolving around that about around the objects or records. Either be a security is applied on an objects or records. So for going to discuss about the security, let's do a quick look on that. What's the security? We have four types of security that Salesforce provide. First is object level, second is feed level, third is organization wide, and fourth is role hierarchy sharing and management. These are comes in the same, because or we can say that is custom sharing or conditional sharing. These four types of security that the Salesforce is providing. Objects if we're talking about, just as I told you that Salesforce is totally dependent on the two things. That first is objects, second is records. So if we're talking about the objects, objects has all the things. Objects. If you open any object, we have these much of things that are available. These much things are available. So we have a fields, we have page layouts, we have record pages, everything that are everything are available here. And it comes into the means object level security. Object, whenever we have a provide an object level security, these all our things are comes into the under some consideration. And second thing is that we have a means field permission are also comes into this. Means if it are fields, these are, if you apply any permissions over the fields, then it comes in the field permission. Then we have page layout permissions, page layout assignments, record pages assignments. These are all the things that comes to slowly we'll know that. First we discuss about that, why the what is the data security. So data security is just a thing that uh, it's a giving or retrieving. It's a means if it's a, either we provide a either we provide some user to view that record, or take out the permission to view that records, or we provide the permission to view that object, or take out the permission to view that object. These all things comes in a data security. Means it's just about the permission, so that whenever the user comes in the Salesforce, either he is a valid user. Sorry, whenever the user comes in the Salesforce, is this user is allowed to view that thing or no. There is the, if you show, means if you consolidate or give a conclusion of that, what is the data security means, is a simple thing, only simplest thing. The thing is that whenever the user logs into the Salesforce, the thing that he's seeing, are he is allowed to see or no. If it is not allowed, if it's a different thing, we have to put permissions over that, or remove the permissions. So it's totally depend on the permissions, and what are the permission we are giving to the user. It comes into that data security, and it's a very important topic. We have to, means we have to think about each and every single piece whenever we are working on the data security. So data security is basically on the two types that I discussed, either being supplied on the object or in the uh, records. And second thing is that objects are itself, it has a very large, so that they divided into that, because this thing is a very important. Means field level security is also important, because suppose I am viewing any object, and on that object I don't want to see that account site field to be visible to any user. So at that time we have, it comes under the field level security. So whenever we have to apply any permission over the field, then it comes over the field level security. And it's have two types of permissions. Means means every field level have a two types of permission. Means either the user have to permission to edit this field, or user have to permission to only view this field. Remember we have a let's start.
Can I ask a question, Suraj?
Yep.
How do we manage users in Salesforce?
Yeah, we are coming to that one.
Okay.
Suppose when we are trying to, yeah, here you can see that it's a kind of field level security. When while we are talking about that, it's a kind of field level security where we just applying the permission. Either the user have permission to view, either the profile, actually these are the profiles. Profiles that user have. Means profiles, we can say that profiles are the group of users. Right now we can say that profiles contains the group of users, and that user have similar kinds of permission. You got my point? A profile, we can say that profiles is a group of user, that, and that group of user have the, if you have to some suppose I have a sales team have a 10 users, and so in that 10 user I will create for that any permission related to that 10 user. I just create a profile for them, and that profile will contain that 10 user, and any permission applied to the profile will automatically apply to that 10 users. So for that, so for now, just you think that if profile is a group of users on which we apply permission, so that all the permission will be applied to all of them. So for by default, Salesforce have this much of profiles available over here. And what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the field level security. So field level security, here you can see that field level security, just like I'm talking about status field, have to which profile we want to give the visibility permission or the read only permission. Visibility permission, that he is able to see the field, and read only permission, that he will able to uh, only read that but not able to edit anything. So visibility is about to see that field and also read that field, means edit that field and read too. But read, if you give the permission only read only, he can see the field but can't able to edit it. He just capture the value and not able to edit it.
Siraj, you said visibility also give edit permission?
Yeah, from here visibility also give the edit permission.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so from here, as you can see that, and that edit permission is only to that field. Remember, it's not about to everything. It's about only to that field. We are giving a permission for a specific, because we are on the field level security. I'm just talking about the example that where you can see the field level security. So I'm just giving it that if in that status field we are giving the visibility or read only permission. So if we give the visible permission, it automatically give the user can see and or edit that field too. But we have also have a edit. Sorry, we have also the read only permission, and if you give that, only able to user can see that record but cannot able to edit it. Sorry, user can see that field but cannot able to edit that field. It's about the field. Similarly, if you want to if you want to see that any existing field, you can just go to that field and click on the field level security. You can check here that this field have a visibility permission but no read on it. So from here they can check it, field level security. So what I'm talking about that so all Salesforce provide that permissions or data security in the on the basis of permissions. So we have an object permission. Object permission decide that the user, which objects that user have to see visible. Suppose I just provide I have an object called suppose I have an object called account, and I allowed that user to see only the account. Allow that I make that user to do not see the account. So whatever the permission on the field level security doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the object is not allowed to see. They can't able to edit or any field over here. So it's so just like parent of that, means parent means object level permission. Then under that we have field level security. So that's why. So it's about that if the object permissions are about that, something like that, if the user does not allow to see any objects, then he will not able to see object, or what number of object he want to see, or which objects he want to see, that permission comes over the object level permission. After that we have a field level permission, as discussed that this is about that fields that we are talking about. So on the detail page we are seeing so many fields. And suppose if any of the user, I don't want to see that I don't want the user to see this rating field, or I don't want to allow that user to edit that rating field. So rating field, so all of the permission that related to only field of that particular objects are come into that comes into the field level security. Apart from that, these two are about to field object and field level are different things. Means these are about the visibility and other things. These are the we can say that it's about object and fields, but here we have these two org wide defaults and role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing. These are comes into the sharing settings. So these are these two this object these are comes into the record level security. Record level security means or we can say that these comes before creating the record, and comes after creating the record. Means this comes before creating the records, before creating the record for the permission that user have to, and this comes after creating the record, what is which record he wants to see. Because so suppose this record level security something like that here. So suppose this is the record, means this is the record. If a user have to see all of the record or not, means it's about the record. He can able to see this record. He can able to see this record, but not able to see this record. That type of permission, because if some user don't have allowed to see other users records, or suppose sales team are not allowed to see IT teams records. Suppose this means it's about the user that who do not allow to see any other users record, because all the users are working on the same object. Means suppose every users in my organization is working on the contact records or account record, and I don't want to see that that type of user will not able to see the records which is created by some other user. So at this type of permission means whenever we have to apply any permission on the basis of records, that comes into the record level security. So for the record level security, we have two types of org wide default and role hierarchies, and these all comes into the manual thing. So org wide defaults means suppose I have suppose these four records are created by some of the user, right? So, and means these five records are created by my sales teams, and these are whatever the seven records are created by my IT team. So I just apply a permission, means I have a requirement saying that sales team will not able to see the IT team's record. So at that time, because it's a means it's a very we can say that very large amount of data, means we have to apply permission over very large amount of data. Means we just have to think about that only, that if the record is created by the sales team or the records created by the IT department. We have to just think about the two only. We have decided only that on the basis of two things, or we have to apply permission that it's a very huge means it's on the records and it does not have any exceptions over here. Means if the record is created by that user, then he able to see that. If the record is created by that user, if the user does not create that record, that he was not able to see that. So these kind of permission which is comes on the basis of when the user created, it comes into that org wide defaults. If you make it private, means there is only private and read only, means later on we discuss about that. Means if you make it private, then I only the records created by me, means if the sales team created that record, he can see that only owns record, not the other records. And if the records are created by the IT teams, so IT team can see his only records but not able to see the sales records. So it's about the permissions that differentiate that records are created by the different users, and he is allowed to only to see that our records and not able to see the others records. The second thing is that comes in that role hierarchy, manual sharing, and these type of things. That role hierarchy comes into the things that it's a quite different thing. Suppose I have a manager. When suppose I just make the org wide as a private. So private means if I make that as a private, so at that time the records created by me, I can see only those records. Means you got my point. Means records that are created by me, only I can see those records. But still I want to add some exceptions that suppose the records which are not created by me, I wanted to add, I also want to see those records. At that time we move to the role hierarchy, sharings and manual sharing. We just apply condition over there hey, these records are, I also want to see that. Means it's about the exceptions. Means we just apply the org wide address, and then we add some exceptions over that these kind of records are also able to see by me, or these kinds of records are also operated by me at that. These type of exceptions, if you want to apply, then this comes into that manual share. Means this type of sharing, role hierarchy, sharing rules. And we later on we discuss about that how we apply these kind of sharing. But right now we just know that there's a 4 type of things. First we have a object level. Second, we have field level. Object and fields are different things. They are applied uh, before creating the records, or or you can before creating means before creating the records, if you apply any permissions, that which objects that user need to see, which fields that user need to see, that's kind of thing. And after creating the records, which record user have to see, that comes into the record level security. But don't confuse with both things. Both are totally independent. They are not dependent on each other. Both permissions are not dependent on each other. Means these object and field level security are not dependent on the record level security. Record level security permission are totally different permission, because it's only work on the records. And object or fields and level security, it's only work on the metadata. Metadata, we discussed about that. Metadata, just like object is a metadata, field is a metadata. And suppose I have no, I have no I suppose I just, from the field level security, I just remove the permission that I'm not able to see that first name. So it doesn't mean that if from the record level security I can give the permission to see that field level. It's not possible. If it's not allowed to see, then it will not available to visible here or here. Never, user can't able to see that. So both are different kinds of permissions. One is for that only for the metadata, or we can shout out that. Means object level or field levels comes into the metadata permissions, and field record level is comes only the records that are we are creating on the objects records. That means any of the objects that records that are creating, it comes under that permission. Okay.
Suraj,
Yep.
so what I understand, I want to clarify if I'm correct.
Yeah,
So let's say 2 teams, sales team and marketing teams, each of them has 5 members. If we put an org level security on an item, anything created by sales team only can be sales team because they are in the same org, and marketing team cannot see. But we can give sales team's manager with the role hierarchy, and managers can see other roles, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like we can manually say one person from the sales team, this person can see these records manually. We can give this kind of permission.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's the same thing.
But
It's about,
on object level, we have also user groups. We are defining user groups, but this is like same user can be like basic element of the team, could be on both team. Let's say we are hiding salary part. So if a member in sales team and one member is on marketing team, if we hide on object level or field level security to the regular member, the salaries, both of them cannot see.
yeah.
Okay. One of them, like this, the first 2 is about user types. Other one is which teams they are belong, or which hierarchy they are belong, I think.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Okay. But we cannot do exceptions to the first 2 with this manual, what do you say, manual sharing. If somebody doesn't have this field security level, we cannot use this manual sharing to show that person, like some person cannot see salary of salary field. Can we do it?
Yeah, we can do it, but that was a totally different topic. That was a totally different topic.
Because I thought like, because you say something like that, if you have org level security, this doesn't affect it. But if you explicitly say, I want to share this field to this person, you can share it. Okay.
Yeah, it means both are comes in a means we have object level security, we have a field level security. In that field object level field level security, suppose I have a team, sales team, and in that sales team, one of the user I just want to, suppose in that sales team, I just don't allow that user have to see that salary field, right? I don't allow that user have to see that in the sales team. I don't allow the user to see the salary field, but in one of the user have some I want to give some extra permission so that he can see that salary field too. So for only for that user, means for one of the users. So for that user, we can create a different permission set for them and use give that permission set to that user. Means that was a totally different thing. We will discuss about it later. But yeah, we can, if we means if we have to do that, we can do that.
Thank you.
Means we are giving an extra permission to that user, and that one, and that was not any condition based, means that is not an some condition that only that condition he can able to see that, means it's not a, something like that we is defining any rule for that. But in the this role hierarchy sharing rules or manual sharing, we are defining a rule. On the basis of that rule, he can see that records. Once we will discuss over that, then it's quite be clear. But right now we're just discussing about that how, means what is the difference between them, and what is the difference between these two, and what is the object level security, field level security, these type of things. What is the basically overview of that, when why we are applying these two things. Right now we're discussing about that thing. That one we discuss about how we are going to apply. First let's yeah, so it's right now we're discussing about that how sorry, why we are applying. So it's only due to the thing is that mm, whenever we have group of user or a single users don't have to allow don't have to see the objects or fields. At that time we have to this kind of permission, go to that permission. And if we don't have to, and if we don't when we have a group of users, or particularly means we have a group of user and that user does not have to see to the other records, then we have to go for the object record level security. So these two kinds of security are moving in the Salesforce. That is totally important topic, and it's totally based on that thing. Means everything that we are working on the Salesforce either be related to a metadata permission, means that is object level, field level security, means that are related to that. And we have also some many more securities over there. But if we are talking if we are getting any eagle eye, then that time we just think about that. Yeah, we have two types of security, object level and field level. But when your knowledge is increasing, you will find that there are more type of also permissions over there. But it's okay. Right now we just focus on that, and later on once we will discuss more and more, once as much as we expand our knowledge, then we will find some more securities, different types of security, more complex securities. So that's a different thing, that's a totally different thing. Right now just focus on that. We have only object level security and field level security and record level security. Object field are only that apply the permission that which objects or which fields that user have to see, and record level security work on the permissions that which records user have to see, and which records user does not have to see. After that we have comes that level of data security. Data security that comes in this way, that we have a object level security, then field level security, then the record level security. It comes at that position. And in that and that means, let's discuss about that. Suppose in this as I discussed earlier, suppose I have a candidate object and it has a three fields: first name, last name, and home phone. We have a candidate object, we have three fields: first name, last name, and home phone. And for a user, I just remove the permission that he can't able to see that candidate objects. So if I remove the permission that user can't see the candidate objects, it means that either he have a permission to see the first name, last name, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If he has not allowed to see that candidate object, then he will not able to see the first name last number fields, and also not able to see that candidate records. Okay, so that was comes in a means that is the comes in a above all over there, means object level securities comes at the very top on the basic, but okay. So this when if we have a permission to, if user have the permission to see that candidate field, and if the user does not have permission to see home phone, then he will not able to see the fields. But whenever we and he can access the record, and in that record he will also not able to see the home phone. Either we any provide, and if we provide the manual sharing, still he will not able to see the home phone. Okay, so uh, so the thing is that the object level securities matters, means whatever the object level securities matters. After if we remove the permission from the object level security, what are the permission, whatever the rules we define, what are the security we define with letter on, doesn't matter. If the object is does not allow to see that record, if the does not object is not allowed to see that user, it doesn't matter whatever the permission we applied, it will not able to see that. Means permission is a very important thing. Always remember in the Salesforce, if user does not have permission to do that, whatever be the code or whatever be the thing, he will not able to do that. Suppose I had removed the permission to home he was not able to see the home phone, then home phone from field level security, then whatever we give the permission, whatever be the we can do anything, means from anywhere. If the user does not have permission to see that home phone, he will not able to see the home phone at from any place. Means if we apply any permission, that will if we remove any permission or apply any permission, that permission matters in the Salesforce. If we remove any permission, I can do any type of, means it doesn't, I can do write code and do any kind of things, but it doesn't matter. He will not able to see, then he will not able to see. The only thing is matter. So what I'm saying to that here is telling to that we have a level of means which permission have the highest priority. If we're talking about the priority or something like that, then we have comes then object level before the field level. Means if the user does not have permission to see the offers here, just like that, if the user does not have permission to see the offer, then he will not able to see that object amount, pay grade, or status. Even if he has a permission to view that field or edit that field, it doesn't matter. If the object is missing, then it does not it doesn't matter that if user have any permission over the fields or user have any permission to view the records, it doesn't matter. If it's not allowed to do that, he will not be able to see that. And yeah, we have also organization void defaults. This comes in a record level security. For record level security, organization void defaults are top of that. Thereafter we have an exception or other types of sharing. Organization void level, as we talked, that if you have to separate that user to see that amount of, means if you have to separate that user to see only the records which are created by himself and does not allow to see the records that are created by any other user, at that time we have a permission, we create the org and at that time we will just go to the org defaults, OWD in the short form. Here it is, we are talking about OWD, and do the means make it them private so that he will see only the their own records and not able to see the other records. Thereafter we have a manual sharing or sharing rules and role hierarchy. On the basis of that, he will also able to see the records, but it's kind of exceptions that we will apply over that. Means suppose I can able to see the my records, but also want to see the records which are created by some of the users. So at that time we will move to that this kind of sharing, that role hierarchy sharing was a manual sharing, this type of thing. So the thing is that in this term, the OWDs comes in the very highest priority, and thereafter we comes the other kind of sharings. Okay.
Siraj, quick question.
Mhm.
Records also under object level security, right? If somebody doesn't have object level security, even if you give records permission, he's still not able to see that record.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, correct. He will not able to see that. If we don't have the permission to view that object, or sorry, if the user does not have permission to view that object, doesn't matter what the security, what the permission it have to view the records, doesn't matter. If does not have to view that object, it doesn't, then he will not able to see that any of the object.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Means it's a quiet room. Then we can move other topic. Means that's the only thing about what is the data security and what is the level of that data security. Thereafter we can move to other topics. So the first user.
Siraj, are you sharing your slides or?
No, I'm just looking that
Yeah, that's-
any point that I'm missing or no. I'm not sharing the slide.
No.
I will. Yeah, okay. I will share the slides. No issue that. But yeah, I'm looking for that. Means if I any point that I missed or no. But I will let you let you guys to give some time to think about that. What we have learned, it's okay. Means you just have to. I think that you guys are going to raise some questions. So in the meantime, I'm just checking that if any point I missed. Because it's a quite important topic, so that's why I'm just focusing. Just quite sure.
Suraj, can you make an example of last part you explained, even you got permission, like more specific example, like marketing team and sales team kind of two-person example?
Okay. Okay, I will do that. No issue. Before that, we just read over what is the user management. Okay, let's move to the next topic. I will do the example because before that we have to do a small topic. We will have to learn that a small topic called user management. Thereafter, I will move to that example because I know that we need to give examples. So okay, we have another topic called user management. User management is also a thing that we have to study before, because we are working on the data security. Data security is work on the users, so we have to know that how we manage the users, how we assign the permissions to the user. That's the important thing. So before that, let's do a quick look that how we create a user. Since you all have a developer org, so it's a quite low license, so we create only 2 users. Okay, and so we can create first user is already you are owning that this org, so you have that user. Second, only one more user we can create. So for creating the user, you just have to go to the user, and here you can click here. Here you can see that list of users that are available in your Salesforce, or we have a list of users. Okay, we have a list of users, and here it is a view. Means it's something like the list view that we have learned earlier. It's the same thing, just like a list view, as you know that here you can see that this type of, this is the same thing, just like a list view. You can create a new view or add a view. It's up to different. It's a different thing. So here we can see that we have a list of users. From here we can create a new user. Reset password means, suppose I just want to reset these user and click on the reset password. The reset password link will be sent to the user. And add multiple user means, if you have a insert a bulk of user at the same time, at that time you use the add multiple user button. So right now we are just going to create a new user for our testing purpose. Click on new user. And one more thing, always remember that when we create a user, we can't delete that user. So that's a very important thing while working as admin. Whenever you have to means, think about that, means whenever user is created in the Salesforce, it's can't able to delete it. We have only one option, then we can deactivate that user, but can't able to delete any of the user record. So that's I'm just going to first name, last name.
Siraj, by the way, what is the logic of having multiple users? Why
What
do
is the logic of?
yes, what multiple users, like 2 users? Why do we need to have 2 users?
Because right now we need to test that if I give the permission to user, and means I need to check that. How can I demonstrate that?
Understood.
That's why.
In real life,
I think this is companies, workers, each one is
Mhm.
another user,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Each one is the, oh, you're asking in that way. Yeah. So each users are in the concept of that the workers or the management or different types of user that working in a company that are related to a user. You
Even
can't create a record as a user. Means you can say that account is a user now, because account does not have username and password. You can't use that.
so even customers can have user accounts, but we give them like special permission. So whenever they access the application, they have only see this part, right?
Yeah. So that's means whenever we have a means who is going to operate some of the records, means user is an important thing for any organization. For any organization, we have a uh, HR team, or we can say that admin directors. These are all the users who operate on the employee records. You got my point? Employees cannot be a user, they can be a record, but the admin or HR, or what we can say that.
I got it. I got it.
You got my point, na?
Same thing
Means these
applies
are the
to
users who are working on the data, means who is responsible to create a data, who is responsible to make the company where to go, how to go.
Yes, I understood. Recently, we hired 2 people, so we did it. We give them, we create user for each website. So the same thing, I think.
So this is just a manual entry, right? In a normal scenario, we would feed the user list from Active Directory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where are the mappings for such a user and their ability, their restrictions, and their access rights mappings?
Yeah, that we will discuss.
Yeah.
No issue that. That
Okay.
we will discuss. No issue in that.
Okay.
Right now, just focus on that. How we create the user. We will discuss over that. Means that I will come to that point. That where we give permission, where we remove the permission, how we are giving the permission. That's the only. That's we will come to over that. Right now, we are creating a second user, so that that's also important thing. How we creating a second user. So yeah, I'm just filling the records. I leave it is, and here's the main thing, that first one is a user license. So we have this much amount of user license available here. Right now, just select the Salesforce, and after that, for the profile, select the system admin. Okay. Sorry, it's IO. Actually, when we create a user, it send an email to that user. So it's already exist.
There is a hierarchy in the profile as well, right? System administrator and upper level, right?
In the profile, there is no hierarchy.
Okay, so there's no top level or the one, the basic, most basic.
No. There is in the profiles we have, and means you can create as much as profile. They are all independent on each other. There is nothing to relation with that. Roles have the hierarchy.
Okay.
Roles, because we have in the company we have a role CEO, manager, admin, HR. These all the things are roles that comes in under that person. So roles have the hierarchy, but profiles does not have hierarchy. They are independent on each other.
Okay.
So I'm creating a second user, and that user for in order to log in that user, first I need to verify that account. So I should receive an email. Let me copy that user. So from here, from this whole process, you can create a user, and you have to create in your org too, because you need to work on that permission and all those things. So that's why. So I have one user here, and so actually, in order to don't do a mismatch, let's go on a incognito mode. Log in with the second user from here.
What was this extension you click on? Is it a Salesforce extension?
This one?
Oh, no, like the blue one, you click on it.
This one. Actually, this extension was made by me in order to convert, in order to copy the session, so that anyone can log in with that. Means I will just copy the session and give it to you. You can log in without username password.
Yeah,
Yeah, this one. I just copy and send to you. You will. You don't need any username password. You can log in into my org.
yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Actually, it's a security breach in the Salesforce. Small security breach. They haven't solved it. They solved in Lightning View, but in the classic is still that security issue.
So they are aware, but they couldn't solve it. They are aware of it, but they couldn't solve it.
They did not able to solve it here, but they solved it here. Means Lightning, I can't capture that. I can't do that thing in the Lightning, but I can do in classic. That's but it's okay. Till now, classic is working. We are fine.
Hopefully they can find too, because we will need your help on this, right?
Yeah.
So can you then log into Classic and then just switch to Lightning without logging in?
I'm not getting the question.
So you said if you send me a link, I can just click on it and get to the Salesforce Classic, right?
And then click on that switch to
Yeah,
Lightning. You will.
and I will go to the Lightning, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But whenever you switch, they can understand somebody is logging.
No. No one can track.
Okay,
No
that's
one
good.
can track. That I tested and added every place. No one can track. Their verification system. Okay. Again, I log in with the same one.
It's almost break time.
Yeah, you can give. You can take the break time. I will come back later. I will. Till now, I set up everything. Till then, sorry. Till then, I set up everything. Okay. Just we will connect after 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
9:33.
Yep, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we are back.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, the Salesforce does not allow. The thing is that since we applied a permission profile to that newly created user or this new user, and that profile we are allowed in the system admin, and a system admin does not we have not flexible to change that system admin profile. So I'm going to create a new profile. So for that, you have to just go to the setup, as you know that setup, and type profile and click on that. Once you click on, you can here, and it's not an issue. Sometimes it's caused such a error message, else it will show profile here. Right now it's some cross domain issue, so it will let me to go to the classic. So let's go to the classic, and let's create a new profile, and it's a copy of system admin. So I'm just creating a profile of copy of system and admin custom.
I can't see what you are doing actually.
You can't see what.
You have different screen, I guess. You are writing. Okay, it's here.
You can see now.
Yes, we can.
Can you start? I don't know where you come here. So can you start over how you get here?
Okay. You need to go to the setup. Then profile. Actually, it does not allow to open some issues. So it's asking to open in the classic. So click on that, event comes here. And for that, click on new profile. And since I'm cloning from an existing profile, so here. And it's always cloning from an existing profile. That's also a thing that means there must be an existing profile from which you have to clone.
So the cloning functionality only works in classic view.
No, it also comes in Lightning too, but we can't create a fresh new profile. It's always be a clone from some already created profile. You got my point? Means we can't create any fresh new profile that have all the beginning of, means all the permissions are nil. That we can't create. We always have to create any of the profile via cloning an existing profile. That you can see that much of profiles are available that have a different user have this type of profile. We have based on the users we have a profile.
So we cannot add any new profiles. We are always using metadata kind of existing profiles.
Yeah, we have to. No, we can use that existing profile, but if you want to create a new profile, for that you have to copy that profile to create a new profile, and then you can make changes in that profile. I've got my point out. So just like I'm here, I'm just copy that existing system admin profile to creating a new profile called system admin clone, and then I will make changes over there.
Siraj, I missed a point. Sorry. We were creating users.
Yeah, we are creating a user but for applying the permissions, we have to create a profile for that user.
Okay, you are done with user creation, then you are applying cloning profile into that new user, right?
Yeah. Okay, so since I had created that profile, yeah. I just created a profile. Now I'm going to add a user over here. Sorry.
Why don't we add the user system admin profile? Why are we creating clone?
Because a system admin profile does not allow me to make any changes on that profile. Means it's out of box profile. It does not allow to make changes on that profile.
Okay, so I want something flexible, and maybe I do some restriction because system admin doesn't have any restriction.
Yeah.
This one will have some restriction, and I will give this to my new user, not full access system admin, but maybe partial access system admin.
Yeah. So for that, let me go to the user.
Only part I'm missing is like here you try to create profile. It didn't allow you. I didn't get this part. Why doesn't it allow you?
No, it's allowing me to create the profile. No issue with that. I can create a profile. I can create as much I can create a profile. The thing is that it does not allow to create, means there is no functionality to create a fresh new profile. Means if I creating any profile and thinking that all the permissions are null in that, means in that newly created profile, since in the profile we are adding permissions, so in that profile it's a fresh profile, means it does not have any permission in that profile. That is not possible. You have to copy any existing profile, and then clone that profile and make changes in that profile.
So this new profile button doesn't work, you mean?
No, it's working. If I click a new profile, yeah, it's working. But in that you can check you must select an existing profile to clone from.
Okay.
Means we are always cloning a profile. We are not creating a new profile.
Okay, but you can make it. You can change everything. It's just using one of them as a like blueprint, then you can.
Yeah. It's taking as one of them as a blueprint and creating on the basis of that.
Okay.
So here, where is my new user? Yeah, here's the new user. I'm just going to make changes in that user so that he will have that new system admin permission. Okay, now I just gave him a clone profile, and now I'm going to give him a permission. Suppose I log in here in that, and I can able to see this record. Can see that this record, and he can also able to see that rating field, and I don't want him to see that rating field. For that I just go to that profile which I just created. Okay, and go to that account. For account, here field level security, you can see that we have a field level security, and click on view. Here you can see that this all we have a permission to read and edit access. Just hit and edit, and rating, and just I just removing the edit access. I just removing the edit access and save it. Now if I refresh it here, I just hit this. Wow.
It's always not working in the first time. It's a kind of
Yeah,
because as a developer we need to wait a couple of seconds every time or keep refreshing it, right?
but it has actually he is a partially system admin profile. That's why I'm just thinking that might be getting System admin code, remove that permission to. Okay, now it's actually he's a system admin, that's why I don't have to click on that system admin. System admin had some permissions. That's why it's showing that.
I think first change is reflected now. We need to
No,
wait.
actually the edit system admin has always have edit permission, so that's why I just cloning the system admin profiler. That's why all the permission related to that system admin it comes to that that here also. So that's why it's means I remove that. As you can see, I remove the read access, so he was not able to read that field. He is not able to read
But
that field.
you just created that clone now. Did you change your profile to clone?
Yeah, it's changed. That's why I'm not able to.
Okay.
That's why he can't able to read that. You can see that value in that field. You can't see that value in the field.
Okay. Suraj, one user can only have one profile, right? Or
Yeah,
multiple
right.
profiles.
No, one user can only have one profile.
Then there will be a lot of profiles to cover all the roles.
And there are.
There should be many combinations of the profiles then.
Yeah, there are so many combinations in the profile. And
So it would be much easier to, if we could, give a user multiple profiles, then it would be much more easier and not much confusing to manage all those roles.
I think you are confused. One profile can handle means why means let me ask you a question to you that why you are want to create a multiple profiles for a user means why what's the use case let you think that a user must have a multiple profiles. Is there a use case that you are thinking that it's fail from here means if a user have a single profile then he can't able to do that thing means what you are thinking that I'm asking. Any means how is means why this question arises in your mind, that's why that's the thing I want to know that so that I can clear it why we have only single profile.
Yeah. I thought like something like this. For example, a profile would be for an access to specific application or object, and for example, I can make of a combination of those profiles, and so that I wouldn't have any combinations of those profiles anymore. So I could add some responsibilities to that role, and it would be much more easier, I guess. I don't know.
Still some confusing but still some confusing
Yeah.
actually the thing is that the user right now user have the only single profile allocate only single profile we can allocate to a user, but if you want to increase his permission then we have another thing that called permission set. In that way we just assign that permission set to that user so that we can increase that permission to that user. Right now just that thing.
Okay.
Later on we will move in slowly, then we can look over that.
I'm going ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Means the thing important that if you are able to think in the Salesforce, then it's good. And how they will means I like that you are still thinking that yeah, we have a profile, we have a objects, that yeah, it's a good thing. Then if you start thinking in the Salesforce about the situation, then it's a good thing. It means you are learning. So it's a good. Okay, so in this way, we just we can add or remove permissions, or if we have means let me check just back to the profile. Give later on we discuss on the example. Right now, just what the profile we have. We have means what kind of permission that we can apply. There you can see that there are lots of permission we can apply on the cells in the Salesforce. So we have a profile. It's a profile. Leave it. We have a page layout on which we have a. We recently learned about that, a page layout. That we have a page layout on which we apply permissions. Which page layout is have to visible to which user. Similarly, we have field level security. Then we have custom apps. These apps that recently we created. You remember this one, employee management. This app. We have a tab settings. Tab setting means this one, which tabs user have to see or no. Then we have a record type setting. Remember, we worked on the record types, that we created 2 record types, and then that setting we can also manage here, that which record type we need user have to see visible to them. And apart from that, we have administrative privileges. There is a lots of permissions. It's whenever we have a requirement, we go to that permission set. Suppose there is a means it's a quite complex. We will leave it for now. General user permission, and then we have object permissions. Object permission, since since he is a system admin, that's why you can see that all are checked. Means this account object, he has a read, edit, create, delete, view all, and modify all permissions. These all kind of permission that user have. You all know that CRUD properties means create, update, create, read, update, and delete. These are the things are CRUD. And apart from that, we have a view all and modify all. We will discuss about it later. It's a thing that that says that if we have a view all permission, then I can see that other records too. Means it's just like that. Basic access and data administration. It comes under the data administration access. So view all means I can see means my records and other alls too. And modify all means I can make changes in my records and other records too. Yeah, this type of permission means it's about to viewing that record, and it's about to modifying that records. And similarly, we have a custom object permissions, and we have so many things. Desktop integration plan, session password policies that he is talking about. And we have a login hours in which user have to log in. Then we have a login IP ranges. In this we discuss means if I restrict the user, means this kind of profile user have to log in within the range of this IP, then this we can restrict here. And there we have a once we start learning about Apex classes, then we learn about that if that profile have a permission to that Apex class or no. So similarly, means what I can tell you that the profiles are consolidate, means have all the permission that the user should have. And what I'm taking, a profile is a group of user, means a profile is a group of user where you can see all the user associated with that profile. You can see it here when we click on the view user. It will let you see that what are the number of users that are allocated to that profile. You can see here. Okay, so it's a brief view of profile and how we assign profile to a user that we discussed. That you just have to go to the user and hit edit. Hit edit and check it here. And we also just take a small example that how we add a permission. Later on we discuss about that more complex, how to give permission or how to work on that this properties, means securities, how we work on, how we going to work on that, how we apply permissions or these, and that we discuss about the examples and all those things and situations later. Let's just right now we just discuss about that the profiles and how we create a profile and how we assign a profile to a user. why the profile is important to a user? It's only because the profile is the profile is deciding that which permission should have a user has to apply on it, means which kind of metadata permission that this user going to have, means what is the type of object level security and what is the field level security, both types of permissions, and also that what is the record level security. These all things are decided by the profiles, and that's why it's very important, and that's why you have to know that role of what is the role of a profile for a user. So this is the way that how we creating. Now I'm going to give a how we apply that page layouts on the basis of user or on the basis of profile. So here
I have a question.
yeah, sure.
If one profile has multiple users, is it efficient how they can keep the version of one profile, one user? Because one user may do some edits or add something that another user doesn't want to see it.
So for that either we assign a new profile to that user. So it's not important to keep every user to in the same profile. For that we just assign a new profile to that user. In that profile I will give a permission that he will not able to edit that object.
So it's just like maybe in real case, small teams will have same profile, like 3-4 people working on the same thing will have one profile. Different teams will have again
a different user. If user does have some different kind of permission that we need to give them, just give a different profile to them.
Awesome.
This was that I was trying to say. In no time we can have hundreds of profiles, because small versions of the profiles will be needed, and we will make small changes on each profile. And for example, a version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, and so on. It will go on, and we will end up with hundreds of profiles, I guess.
I think instead of profiles, we are differentiating with like org level, like
we have some more things. Means we have, if we reach as such a complex situation that you are talking about, that each day or each time you are upgrading that permissions of the profile, then we have some different options too. Just like we have organized security, means first focus on the requirement, means why we are changing the profile. There must be a question that why we are changing the profile permission. Might be to solve from the another thing. Means why we are creating the versions of a profile. Means it's not quite good that we are creating so many profiles. We have 1,000 of profile in the user. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, we can handle some things with exceptions also, I guess. Right?
If we, that's why the exceptions are. If suppose one, we have 100 of user in a profile, and only 1 or 2 user have some, you want to give us some small permission, then you can do some exception cases for that. No, it doesn't need to create a new profile or new version of a profile for that.
Yeah, okay.
So it's about the requirement. Means there is an, if it doesn't need that, if you, for 100 user you will create 100 different profile. No, just group the user that this kind of user he will able to this thing, this kind of user will have able to that thing. So when we differentiate that, we have only 2 or 3 types of profile. And then if in 2 or 3 types of profile, if 1 or 2 user have some exception permission, then we have a different option to give that exception permission. But there is no it does not think that you will create 100 profile for the 100 user. No, it's not a good thing.
I think this,
because maintaining 100 profile is a very quite difficult task. You can see that in a single profile we have lots of permission over there, and it's not easy to maintain. It's not easy to even remember. Yeah, so you can see that there is not a 1 or 2 things are available in the profile. There is a lots of things are available in the profile. Yeah,
I mean, this record level security will solve that kind of issues. I think, like if let's say a bank has like 100 branch, each branch has tellers, we give them access to see like customer information, but we don't want them to see like 1 million customer. We want them to see only their branch. Then we give them like record level security, so they can see only their branch records.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. So for that, we don't need to create a new profile for them. We just create a sharing rule for them or sharing security for them. That's it. Okay. Or just enable the wide address.
Yeah, okay. How can we test some new profiles without logging out from our own user?
For that, you just have to just like I show you that for your own user, you need to have no, you have to create a new user. Don't try with your own user. Create a new user and test over that user. So I just show you that how to create a new user, how to create a clone of your existing profile and make changes in that profile.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to do something like that. Don't make changes. Actually, the system admin profile will not allow to make your changes. So that's why we just need to create a clone of that system admin profile and make changes. Or if you have so many profiles, but I prefer you to, instead of creating a clone of a system admin profile, just clone a standard user profile. This one means while when you're creating the means it's a easy to learn. Means actually the system I just forget to don't means sorry for that. Means I don't have to clone that system admin profile. Actually, the system admin profile, it's a much more permission than all other profile. So it's not quite means actually the learning from the system admin profile, you have to have a knowledge of all those things. Because it has, suppose I'm giving a permission, it might be not allowed because due to some other permission it's override that permission. So that's also a thing.
Yeah, because the list is long, a lot of configurations to attend to, and I guess it will be it is hard to imagine, okay, what will be the effect of the change we make. So maybe we should learn it with trial and error.
Actually, yeah, that's why I just want to use that. You just go to the profile. Just go to the profile, open the profile and create a new profile, and then do a standard user, or do a clone, save it, and go to your user. Means this user, similarly you can create your own user too, and instead of using that, use the standard user clone. Okay, and now go to your standard user clone and where is my field level security? Right now you're working on the field level security. Just go to your field level security, view that, and apply the permissions and check it, the permission. Where is that? Our rating field. If I remove that read access, then edit access automatically get removed.
But you on your standard user, not the cloned one, right?
No, now I'm on the cloned one. You can see that. I log in a different browser. One is in the incognito mode, and second one is not in incognito mode. Here you can see that this one my testing user. If you have to log in a different browser, so thereafter you can see. I do save, right? Rating bit list, not have to edit access.
Siraj, from cloned one, you are giving permission to standard user, right?
No, from my standard user, I'm giving the permission to the clone one.
Okay. Exactly. Okay, that's what okay. Now it's clear. I thought you will go to cloned one and give the other one.
Yeah, I will go to the no, what happened to this? Still not happening.
So you on your
Sorry,
standard
sorry.
user, right?
Yeah, that's a, yeah, you're correct. I need to work on that standard clone. Sorry for that. Standard clone user there. Yeah, now I can see that he is not allowed to either edit or he is not allowed to make any changes here, and he is not able to read that field too. Okay, so from this way you just have to clone the standard user profile and use a clone and make changes in your field level security or any security. You can test it. Okay, leave it. Is it? There is a small topic. We have 10 more minutes. Let's do a small topic. Page layout assignment. Okay, you all are familiar with the page layout that you all are familiar with the page layout. Let's create a page layout for the a new page layout that will copy from, no, don't let copy, just leave it. Free basis means just a what is that? Customize the both. Yeah, it will let you that include the separate tabs for the feed and details view for of a record and let you customize in the both views. Leave it as it is. It's a feed based. Just leave it. Now in that view, I just add some more fields over here. Okay, and hit save. So what I just created two new means I just created a page layout and I want this page layout to be assigned to the our newly created user we just created. For that we have a page layout assignment. For we just have to, for the page layout assignment, we have to go to the object and account, and then we have to page layout and page layout assignment. So this page layout is worked on the profile basis. You can see data assignment, and for that is a account layout, and I just created a standard user clone. For that I just use my page layout new and hit save. So for all of the users who have this profile standard user clone, he will have this page layout. So when this user logs in, he will see that he has some different view because the page layout has been changed for them. Let me yeah, you can see that whenever this user comes in, he will see only those fields that is added to that page layout, and that page layout assigned to that user. This can be done, this page layout assignment can be done from here, and it is also can be done from the profile level. Where is my profile? That was easy, but it's from making changes from the profile is quite hesitating. Where is my yeah, can give it's a current assignment name, current page layout assignment name. You can click on view assignment. It will already redirect to that page, and you just have to click on edit assignment and make changes over here. So similarly, we can do a page layout assignment from here, or we can also go to the page assignment from object level. You can do from anywhere. You can give the page layout assignments. And why we are giving the page layout assignment is a simple thing that suppose I just don't want, means this particular type of user have to work on these kind of fields. So at that time he has to means that user will have to work on that number of fields. At that time we just give a create we just create a layout assignment and I'll apply to this. Suppose we just create a new page layout and assign that page layout to this user. This is my standard user, I mean this is my existing user, and when I work on the new user, when I work for the new user, I just change the page layout. So it's also changing from here. Now you may ask the question that we can also show and hide fields from the page layout, then why we are using the permissions, right? Means might be have a question that means you can remove, suppose a user I don't want to see that account site, I can make changes. I will just remove the account site from this page layout, and it will not available to that user, right? So user can't able to see that. Then why there is a need of permissions over here? Ajay, can anyone tell me that means why there is a need of permissions over here? Means I can make changes via page layout, but still means via page layout I can hide this field. I can easily hide. I will just go to the page layout. Suppose I don't want this user to see that site. I just go to that page layout. Where is my page layout? You can think till that. I just
So
here
this
and I just remove that page from the page layout. It's okay. And when I come here, I can't see that field. Yeah. So why there
so
is a need means from the permission we can also do that same thing. But why there is a need to do from the permission, not from here? What it means anyone could put some word over here. Yep.
so normally if we don't do anything it's like that, but we are making some changes on with the page layout, creating a new view, and we can assign this view any part of the permissions, right?
Yeah, this is a view.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, your point is actually via page layout we are creating a view, but via permission we're just forcing that user that from either way, means either from the page layout or not from the apex code or from where if he does not allowed to do that, he is not allowed to do that. It's something like that way. Okay, means how we can say that means we are means same thing we can do it from means from the page layout we're just creating a view, only view, meaning user can make changes. Means if I since I remove that From the page layout, I just remove only from the page layout, I just remove that field to not available in that view. Means he will not able to see that field, but still if I am from somewhere else or from some other view, he is able to make changes in that field. So that's means he will able to make changes on that field. So this is means means this kind of means it's a kind of requirement. Means suppose I just want the user to not able to see that field in that page layout, but still able to see it in some other page layout, then at that time we are just focus on the page layout. But if that we have a requirement saying that that user will not able to make changes in that field from either from the page layout or from anywhere else, at that time we will go to the permissions. The permission, if we remove the permissions, then he will not able to make changes in that field either from the page layout or from the anything else or from the Apex or from the any third party API, and from anywhere he will not able to make changes. But if we are removing from the only from the page layout, then it will just remove from the view. He will able to make changes from either from the Apex, either from any third party tool, anything he can make any changes in that field. So permission is something like the data security. Here is data is not secure, means if we remove from the page layout, doesn't mean that he will not able to add any value in that. You can add, but if we remove from the permission from the profiles, then he will not able to make any changes in that field. Okay, so that's the means that actually that's why I just told you that I asked raise the question, because might be got confused that hey, I can do make changes in if I suppose that field I don't want to see on the to that user, I will make changes in the page layout. Why do I make changes in the profile? So that's also a question. So that's why I told you that if from making changes from the page layout, it just let you to remove that field from the view, and from making changes in the profile, it will remove that field from at every places. That permission will apply to at every places.
So if we don't put on page layout, user, it's not that secure as like restricting access from the profile, because if you restrict access from profile, there is no way user can reach, but otherwise it may be available somewhere else. You mean?
Yeah, that's the same thing. Any more questions? Now we have a QA out. I'm okay. We have a 10 minutes. And hope you guys are completing your assignments and modules. Right? I'm just asking.
We can have some survey. I don't know. Ask.
Yeah.
Who completed.
Actually, if you, I will just 2 or 3 days after I will put some test, so that let you know, means so that I know that what you have learned. So, and survey, yeah, we can also do it.
I think if we have on weekend, it will be more flexible for all of us.
On weekends, yeah, on Friday night we can do that.
I mean, like if we have a weekend to solve this.
I think Siraj is talking about something like Kahoot, maybe.
No, it's not about the solve it, just about MCQ. You just have to just 10 to 15 minutes it will take, and you can give the exam. It's not about to solve the paper. It's about just a small MCQs, means multiple choice questions or single type question. It's okay, and it will take 10 to 15 minutes to complete that. No issue. It's everyone has on the screen, and they will give the answer, and result will be generated at the same time.
Yeah,
so it's a different thing.
Yeah,
it's a different thing. It's just up to me. I'm just creating the paper. Once I will finish or wrap up, then I will let you know. Or Priya will create the paper. He will let you know.
Actually,
she will,
on
she will.
our system, there we can do multiple choice exam, if you like. Priya can add the exam over there, so one can take multiple choice, or if you want to use any other online tool, you can use.
Yeah, we have another online tool called Kahoot, K-H-O-O-T.
Okay, Kahoot, we are using Kahoot.
Yeah.
That's one way, yeah.
Yeah, if you are using Kahoot, then it's okay. We are using the Kahoot for the this.
And Suraj, on my Salesforce, I don't see that much of like records everything. Mine is like nearly empty. Why is it like that?
You can see the account details. Means if you go to the account object, you can't see any record over there, right?
Like whenever I click accounts, I don't see that much of accounts actually.
So might we have to choose this to all accounts?
Yeah, whenever I don't see like 12 accounts. Do I need to import something? A file?
No. You have to just click over here. This list view. You have to choose all accounts.
Some of them are created by Siraj, I believe. If you complete, for example, your badges, there will be some assignments to create some records, and you will see more of those.
Okay. This one is Trailhead account, right?
Yeah, this one is a Trailhead account. I just created for the Trailhead. I mean, I just created from the Trailhead a new account.
So whenever you do assignments, it automatically fills in it, I think. Yeah, mine is
no. Yeah, actually, I just that's also a thing that whenever you do an assignment, it will fill. But these 12 records comes by default. I haven't created any other record. I think S4s I created means I think this 11 records are created by default. If you create any record from the Trello, if you create any account from the Trello, these records comes up automatically.
Yeah, whenever we create any new playgrounds or whenever we create our own org, Salesforce provides some data, some record by default. So these are these record you are seeing the on the screen. These are the by default record which are already created by the Salesforce. So whenever you complete your own challenges and hands-on practices, then you can and that time you will create some records and you can check from here. You can check from the recent view and also from the all accounts. By default, we are on recent view. So whenever you want to see all records, just go to the arrow and select the all accounts, and you can check the all records on at a single time. Otherwise, you can pin out the list view which you want to see for all time. Like Suraj, let's show them like how can we set the views like you can just pin yeah.
If you pinned it, then it will, whenever it comes in, it will show all accounts here. Always show all accounts if you pin that view.
What happened?
Nothing. It's any more questions?
Everyone silent.
Yeah, Priya, if you can help me after this, because still I'm having problem with this one after the class. If you have like 5 minutes to show me.
Okay, she will consult you.
I have a question.
So
Trailhead is our primary resource, right? If we get a task in the real work environment, we will check Trailhead steps to be able to create or complete that task, because we cannot memorize everything. We will keep forgetting, even if we do all of the practices and even if we do assignments, it will go away, right?
yeah, but it doesn't mean you forget everything. You just, I think it will be 60% still in your mind.
Yeah, but that 40% we need to check Trailhead, right?
Yeah, it's okay. No issue. No one can learn Salesforce at the same time. Since I'm also while I'm training, I'm also just looking for that thing that hey means I'm just also clicking on there and then let you know that. So it's okay if you're forgetting means if you're forget that 40% is not, it's okay. It means everyone cannot capture all the 100% and take all the 100% throughout the way. It's okay. You have just the thing is that you just have to know that why we are doing this, just only thing that, and you can just know from where I can get that how we are doing this. If the trailer will means you have a capability that you can in a 2 or in a 10 second you decide that where I can go, so I can find the steps how we are going to create that requirement. But why we are creating that you have to still in your mind. So how it's you can get your answer how while searching on the internet, but why you just have to remember, means why for why you just have to remember in your mind. That's the thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I know that you will forget that how we are creating. Suppose I just ask you after 10 days I will ask some question that how we are going to create that profiles. Might be you forget that how I'm, but if I ask that why we are creating this profile, then that answer you will know that why we are creating the profile. So that's important.
Yeah.
Why we are creating, how we will know that. Means it's not an issue.
I think for certificate also needs 65 points, yes, from 100.
65 point. I'm not.
Yeah, to pass the exam for certificate, we need 65 points, yes, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody
it's a
needs
60
100 or 80%. I mean, 65% is enough to
okay,
get
yeah,
a
it's
certificate also.
65% is enough. Thanks for supporting my answer. Yeah, it's
So,
okay.
but whenever we are applying job, are they looking at our points on the profile?
Whenever
Applying any job, like recruiters, can they see our points on the profile?
points on the profile.
Like
You can show your certification. You can show your certifications, not your
not
points. Actually asking about like whenever I want to apply for the job, can I show these points? Am I right?
yes, like
Yeah.
it's important to get
Yeah, you
high.
can show the certification, but it's up to them. Then he want to see your profile or not. He want to see, because your profile will become public. They can search you from their profile. So it's okay. Means
so they can see.
Yeah, they can see. Means once we created any profile, it's a public profile over here. They can see if they want to see.
Okay. Can they see when the profile is created? Like how long you have been on Salesforce?
I don't think I haven't seen that any such option available that it will know that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to see like I joined 2 months ago.
Also, one more thing, I think there is no points in certificate also, yeah. They don't know what point we got. In certificate, there is no our scores, yes, I think.
Certificates.
Yeah, in certificate, we can't see our scores, yes? They are not telling us.
Yeah, it's not telling us.
So nobody can see our points also. Exam points.
Exam points they can see. Exam points, if they are requested to see, then they can see. Means everything is partial. Means it's exam points. They can see the exam points. They can also see the trailered points. But it's up to them. If they want to share that your profile, then you can share the profile. They can see. If while doing the certification, the points that you are on, if they want to see, if they ask you to see, they can see that. But usually they will not ask. They will not asking the question. If your interview are good, they will forget about that. What the point is.
So when do you think we can take these exams?
For that examination, just you can take the examination after 2.5 months.
Okay.
You can take the examination. For developer one and admin, you can give the examination. It's okay, because they have a message. They don't have some typical questions. They have some situation based question. Let me share. Recently I downloaded some questions.
And the guys, everyone was sharing how many batches they do. Like, what is the last number of batches?
Until we hear you completed 30 badges.
Mehmet, how many batches you have so far?
I don't want to discourage people. Let me not say that.
Similarly, in this way you will give the examination. You can see here on my screen, we will ask question and we have a 4 option and something like that. And it's a admin certification examination paper. And for the admin certification examination paper, most of the question are coming from this data security, most of the question. So we focus on the data security. Try to do practice as much you can, because data security is a very important topic for the admin.
So
they
there's
ask so many, they ask so many questions. Suppose this question is also from the data security.
Will you share this documentation with us?
Yeah, I can share it.
You can put
in
assignment.
general assignments. Okay.
Assignments is better. It doesn't.
Maybe you can create a resources channel.
I don't know if I have access.
I think we all have like that.
Creating channel.
Add channels.
Should I create add channel? I have an option.
Yeah.
Yes.
Resources. Make it private. That's okay. Oh, spelling is RESOUR. Can't make. I can't delete it.
Probably. I think we can keep it like that as.
Actually, there is a spelling mistake. No issue.
I realize, but I wanna keep it like that. Whenever you were writing, I realized. Can you add us, or can we add ourselves? How does?
How actually here?
You need to share the link, I guess.
Share this channel.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's outside of. Share this channel outside of this. This one I have to choose or something by name.
You can say add here, add channel.
Add channel.
Yes. No, with @ sign. Like email @ sign.
Okay.
Channel.
No, it didn't work. Maybe hashtag.
I have to do one by one.
No. I think you just need to copy the name if you.
Here there's share channel. Think just copy this part.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that this one.
Send it on the send it on the channel.
Copy the sign link. Done. And where should I? Let me send it. Channel.
General.
Which channel? General.
Yeah.
Okay, here and
Yeah, we need to only click on resources, hashtag resources. It automatically joins.
Okay, take a look at it. It's I had look at that. Means I've seen that they have a situation based question. They have provide some situation and you have to decide. So data security is a very important topic in that. Means we will once we will complete the data security, we'll think you will know that there is so many questions related to only with the related to data security. So data security is a quite important topic for both the examination. Dev 1, PD1 and PD2. Sorry, admin and PD1. Okay. So pretty much for now. Bye everyone. Talk to you tomorrow. We will discuss more about data security tomorrow. And I think one more day. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suraj.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.